Good morning. It's an early Saturday morning. I'm on Chester Road in Sunderland. The Sunderland city centre is just probably half a mile down there, along with Sunderland Minster. It's a gorgeous red sky. Very calm, very quiet. I was up early because it's quite a busy area normally, so I was up early just to do this video while it's a bit quieter. Now, the events of this video took place in 1879 and 1882. Now, at that stage, Chester Road didn't look like anything it does today. Lots of it was still not built on. There was some houses, but this area here is a street called the Royalty. That's why there is the Royalty Theatre over there. It's a one-way street now. There's the old Royalty pub. It's now called the Stumble Inn. So this is an old Victorian terrace. Now, in 1879, that particular area where the theatre is, down past the streets called Weston Hill and the Retreat, was still a field. So in 1879, ex-workmen or labourers were doing some excavations for the building, so I'm assuming that would be the foundations. Now, on the 15th of December 1879, they came across a stone vault, like a stone coffin, where it was really slabs of stone put around a skeleton. Now, according to when it was found, it was an unusually tall man, over 7 foot. Now, whenever these skeletons turn up, they're always huge, giant men, 7 foot, 8 foot, and so on. Probably because the way of measuring a skeleton wasn't as skilled as today. So I'm very suspicious about a 7 foot man. So this street is the Retreat. Now, there was a clue to where it was found. It was found 50 yards from the south. So the south of the Royalty. So there's Burn Park at the bottom, and the bottom of the Royalty ends down there near Summer Hill. So we're pretty much talking around this area here. Now, when it was found, it was looked at and it was taken to the museum down on Borough Road, and after that point it's lost to history. It could still be in a box somewhere in the museum archives, or it could also have been sent off to somewhere like the British Museum to go into their collections. So I'm just walking down the western side of the Retreat, and when it was found, it was said that the head was to the north and the feet were to the south. So it was described as an ancient burial. So we're probably talking pre-Christian, particularly because there was a Christian church from around I think it was 900. It started down at the old Bishop Weymouth Parish Church for there. So as to what particular era it came from, that is a mystery. Now, we're just down the back of the Retreat. Now, these were fine houses at one stage, or lots of middle class lived here. We've still got some of the old features. Well, that wasn't an old feature on TV, but the back lanes and so on. Now, there the story would end, but at the start of July 1882, workmen were putting a path through the Retreat, because a lot of these old Victorian streets, when they were built, they weren't built in one go. Some streets were built, some parts of the street were built first, then the next bit. Also, there wasn't always like pavements were put in, or the road surface was put into later. So in 1882, in the front of it said it was close to Councillor Park's drawing room. Now, a drawing room was like an old word for living room, front parlour, so it would have been at the front of the house, and it was just 2 foot under the surface. Now, workmen found another stone coffin. This time they estimated the skeleton was about 5'5". Again, I don't know if they were trained in measuring skeletons, but so I'll take that with a pinch of salt as well. Now, they didn't report it straight away. They broke up the stone slabs and took away the skeleton and put it in a rubbish heap, so it was lost to history, but they did report it, and the Sunderland Daily Echo did report the find of this one, and it referenced it to the previous one. Now, there's a clue to where this one was found, because there was a Park family living at number 11, the retreat. Now, again, that could just be a coincidence. There might have been a couple of Park families on this street, but it says that the original one, found in 1879, was found on the western side of the retreat, which is over there. So I would expect it was when they were doing the foundations for these, and it was only 15 yards away, so that's about 14 metres. So we're probably talking in the backyards of one of these houses or in the lane. But there's number 11. You can see that, you can imagine these houses back in 1879 would have been absolutely luxurious for the time. Perfect for the town. There's the sound of the street sweeper, and if you look, beautiful sky this morning. So there was 2 skeletons found in the space of 3 years. I'll just go down the back of here where it's a bit quieter. So as to who they were, where they were, when were they buried, it was a complete mystery, and it's been left there since that time. Now, if that had been happened today, we would have had probably possibly DNA testing, radiocarbon dating, and so on. So we could have narrowed it down, but we could be talking, Roman, Saxon, or before that, because if you remember, there was been a lot of ancient burial mounds up in like Hastings Hill, Grindon, that sort of place. Oh, you don't see that site often. There's the back of the Royalty Theatre. I believe that was some sort of church hall from the late 1800s. Now, my thoughts are this is an ancient burial ground. So if there's 1 and there's 2, why is there not 3, 4, 5, 6? Somebody chose to carefully bury these 2 people in this particular spot. Now, if you have a look, we're just on the back lanes of the retreat. As you can see, there is a few houses, but there's lots of areas like backyards, back lanes, the road, which would never have been dug up, because when you're building a house and a street, when they put the foundations in, they don't dig up every single inch of the ground, do they? They simply just put some foundations in. So lots of this has not been examined or dug up. So if anybody has any thoughts in the comments about what era we're talking around, but that second one was found was only 2 foot under the surface. Now, the location I've not heard of any other finds or anything at all about that story from the time. If you go on Google, there's nothing. Even in the newspapers after the events, there was nothing. So as you can see, these are I've got a feeling that the original front gardens of these streets would have been a little bit bigger. Look at the size of the pavements there, that doesn't look right. So I think what they've done is extended the pavements out, so these rooms in the front would have been the front parlours. So, what do we have here? Is it Roman? Is it Saxon? Is it Viking? Or is it Neolithic man? I can't remember the technical term for it. Not Stone Age, but you know, that sort of era. So on that note, I will leave you to have a think about what was going on here, and is this the site of an ancient burial ground? I guess we'll never know unless one day somebody's doing some excavations or digging up a backyard or doing some work, or some utilities are being put in, and somebody comes across another one, fingers crossed, and then it can be dated and so on. So it's a shame it couldn't be looked into a little bit further. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you do like it, give it a like, and if you want, click on the subscribe to get the news of the next videos that I do. So thank you very much.